What's up, my good people? Welcome to the CJ Moneyway Show. Today, I have on the show my man Phil that's throwing the event, Juneteenth event in Iowa, All Voices DSM. Hey, what's up, Phil, man? How you doing today, bro?
What's up, CJ? How you doing? Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be on your show.
I appreciate it, man. So, you guys have an event coming on, but before we start, man, just tell us before we get started, in your words, what is the meaning of curating change?
So Curating Change is we have an art exhibit. It's a pop-up art exhibit. And what Curating Change is bringing artists, like-minded artists through their art, through their platforms, to start to make changes in our community in a positive manner. We want to utilize our platforms. We want to utilize our artwork, our talents, our gifts for the purpose of curating and creating positive impact in our communities.
Mm-hmm. So with this event that's taking place on Juneteenth, tell us, where is it taking place, what time, and what type of artists would you be having on stage?
So it's a twofold event. We have 17 musical performers. We have 2 poets. We have 2 motivational, inspirational speakers as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the event is taking place here in Des Moines, Iowa, at Western Gateway Park. What that is our downtown area is going to be blocked off for the event. We will have the performances on the stage, and we will have the art exhibit in what's called here our John and Mary Papa John Educational Building, which will be right next to the stage. So you can, it's an outdoor event for the musical side, but the art exhibit will be taking place in the John and Mary Papa John Center, Education Center. And they're both a part of the Iowa Juneteenth event.
Mm-hmm.
The Iowa Juneteenth event is an event that wants to really focus in on the 3 R's, as they would like to call it: remembering our history, releasing the past, and reshaping our future. And my motto for this event is shining a light on our beautiful community.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to do this by art. We want to do this by music, by motivational and inspirational speaking, just to get across a message in our community that not only are we powerful people, we have the ability to do powerful things.
Man, that's interesting. Got a lot of people, a lot of things going on with this event, man. So with that being said, like doing things of this nature, wanting to do things for the community, reach out and make positive change. What has been your motivating factor, and what has inspired you to want to do things of this nature?
There's been many different things, but I'll try to, and that's an excellent question, CJ. But I'll try to, keep it within where I don't get too out of bounds. That's a topic I can talk about all day. But one of the things that has always concerned me a lot of my life is that we as African American people, we get the publicity we get on our communities, in our communities, is negative publicity.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get much positive feedback from what takes place in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
Although we do have a lot of positive things happening, but nobody's talking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always and have always been a firm believer. In fact, our motto for All Voices DSM is changing the world with a stage and a microphone. I truly believe we can look at ourselves differently as a community and also as a reflection to other people. We can use a stage and a microphone to create and show a beauty that comes from our community. Our communities are beautiful communities. There's a lot of positive things that happen, but a lot of times all we hear about is the shooting that happened on 9th Street, or the shooting that happened over here, or such and such who got 40 years, We have so much more going on in our communities. And not only do we have them going on in our communities, I want to take the opportunity to highlight and to really shine a light on those beautiful things. And a lot of people may say, well, you're only doing it through entertainment. Entertainment gives us the opportunity to come together and rejoice. It gives us the opportunity to come together and laugh. It gives us the opportunity to come together and embrace. And not only does it give us the opportunity to do these things, it also gives us the opportunity to educate. This is why I make sure I have motivational speakers that talk to our young kids, that can express to our young kids that, hey, look at me. I have made, and I am a very successful person. We have a lot of successful people, and we need to shine a light. And we could do this by mixing entertainment, mixing art, and mixing education. I like to call it edutainment, as KRS-One used to call it back in the
day. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting points and facts. Like you say, we do gravitate to the negative things, to the negative aspect of what's going on in our community. That's what's going to be on the news. This is the things that they try to exploit. And so, to the same extent, like this is what I'm trying to do this podcast for, is to put a highlight on those and their journeys, you know what I'm saying? Like what we came from or what people came from into what they're doing now. Life has its challenges. And so you want to give people the recognition to say, hey, look, this is what we're doing over here. And I think that's a good thing that you guys are doing up there in Iowa. And I thank God that we will have the opportunity to come in and be with you guys this year. And
I'm so looking forward to that.
Yeah, so looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to meeting some of your artists and everything of that nature. Tell me, man, so what is the sole purpose of this event? And what are you looking to get out of it awareness-wise?
So one of the things that you just kind of mentioned is we are interviewing some of the artists. We really want to tell their backstory. We truly believe the backstory is just as important as the performance. I think that's one of the things that you are big with your podcast. One of the things I love about your podcast is you telling the backstory. A lot of times we only see a person when they get to that successful point, but they don't get an opportunity to talk about those struggles that it took for them to get to that point. What some of our goals in this is to talk about how people got to that point. One that, again, because we only hear negative things, it's easy to figure out how to get to a negative point. But it's so important for us to pass our stories down and talk about what it takes to get from point A to point B. And that is some of the things I really want to focus on. Not only do I want to focus on telling the story, I want to take this and expand it as far as I can. I want to go to the schools and utilize the stage and the microphone to create change. I want to go in to some of the cities like Peoria, Illinois, who's having a great deal of gun violence taking place. Eventually, a Chicago, Illinois, who has a great deal of gun violence. Eventually, a Gary, Illinois. And I want to take a platform to shine a light on our people. I think if people see more positive things coming out of our community, which they're there, they're just not getting the highlight.
Yeah.
Then we could start to gravitate and we could start to change the narrative a little bit. Because a lot of times I think our young people, and I don't think it's a large portion of young people, I still think it's a small minority, but a lot of our young people, all they see is the gang banging. All they hear is the crazy music. And don't get me wrong, I listen to a lot of that crazy music, so I ain't dogging it that way either. But at the same time, if all you hear is shoot 'em up, bang, bang, that kind of conversation in music and on film and in games, then it's real easy to gravitate to that lifestyle. But we do have a lifestyle where people are doing wonderful things. My daughter just graduated from college. We don't talk about those kind of conversations. Just graduated from college with double major, got a job before she even got out of college, making 70 grand a year. I ain't never even thought about making that much money. You know what I'm saying? You know, but those are the kind of conversations that we need to start taking place. Start taking place about conversations with these young geniuses that are that we have in our community. Our young people are doing wonderful things. They're mobilizing. They're starting podcasts. They're doing wonderful things, and it's time to really start highlighting the wonders in our community. In my opinion.
Yeah, because like you say, there's a lot of things that you can highlight in people's success, but what about the things that got you there?
Yes.
So, like one of the reasons that I did this because, and I say this all the time, is that I see the Shaqs. I see the Kevin Harts. I see the LeBron James, and now his wife starting one. Now everybody's starting a podcast, and yeah, people gonna gravitate to him because of the name value.
Absolutely.
But one thing that I recognize with that, Kevin Hart said, the women empowerment, they got a lot of platforms that a lot of people, and especially a lot of them celebrities, they only bring on celebrities. And so they're only talking about their lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like me or somebody like, whoever, we can listen to them and be like, man, but like, what is it really edifying in me, though? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what am I really getting out of that about, y'all traveling all around the world and how you got 50 billion? Yeah, it's motivation, to want to reach for the stars. But what about the ground level? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what about those of us that's on the ground level that's trying to get to that point, but not there? And because we're not there, you won't hear our stories on any of these on Oprah. You know what I'm saying? You won't hear any of our stories on The View or things like that. And so, like, I'm agreeing with what you're saying, and I'm feeling it. We need to have more outlets of people, especially of color, that cares, about the younger generation so that they can pass it on about our culture, period. You feel what I'm saying? Because like I said, we're not being highlighted enough from the successes that, come out. Like I was interviewing this one lady and she said that, she comes from Gary. And she said that they said that nothing good will ever come out of Gary, Indiana. And so her whole mission has been to prove people wrong because something good has come out of Gary, and there is a lot of good that comes out of Gary. And so that's her sole mission, is to help as many people as she can to succeed. And we need more people like you. We need more people like her. I interviewed a guy that's from Compton. He's doing the same thing that you're doing with the mental health things and going out and empowering. And I told him, I say, man, I got a cousin that's doing that. And maybe I try to link you guys up. I said, because it's bigger than just Iowa. It's bigger than
Absolutely.
just Compton. And it's a lot of, and you'll be amazed at how many people are actually
Absolutely.
doing the same things that you guys do. Actually, I was watching the NBA yesterday, and the NBA has a mental health month thing,
Mhm.
so it's big, man. So I appreciate what you're doing, man. I admire what you're doing. I pray that you continue doing it, man, because skies is the limit for people that has a heart for the people.
Well, it's funny you said that about the young lady who mission was to show that there's many positive things coming out of Gary.
Mm-hmm.
For many years, I thought and said every Black man should write a book. I've since changed that, and now I really believe everyone should write a book.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should be able to tell their legacy.
Mm-hmm.
We should not continue to allow other people to tell our legacy. I think that's kind of where things have gotten miscommunicated. First of all, nobody knows your story like you.
Mm.
You're the only one that can tell your story. And it's important for that story to be told, if nothing more than for your seeds,
Mm-hmm.
your people, if nothing more. However, the story should break up or should shape up to something even much bigger. It should shape up to a community. It should shape up to a neighborhood. It should shape up to a city, a state. And it should be a part of what takes place during that time period of life.
Mm-hmm.
Our story has gotten broken for many reasons. Of course, racism, slavery, many other things have broke down that story.
Mm-hmm.
At some point in time, we got to get back to telling our story.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell my story better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important for us to tell those stories. I don't care if you can't read or write. We have so many opportunities. We got a phone where you can record your voice. It's about passing down the stories. Many cultures pass those stories down. Our stories got broken. And it's important for us to get back to telling our stories, and if to nobody else, to your seed.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for them to be able to continue to pass that down. That got broke in the Black community. The story ain't been passed down for years, and we got other folks telling our story, and they ain't telling the truth.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
and it, like you say, not only are they not telling the truth, but as we do with our own stories, with our own lives, at times, as I was listening to you, we leave out certain elements and certain things out too.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's things that's going on within. We will have to do that one on another one, man. So, it's the generational thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so there's some things that I may not know about great granddaddy, or I may not know about granddaddy, or even my own father. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
No, you're
it's some
absolutely
things.
right.
There's some things missing. And so, and like you say, if we don't talk about it, if we don't talk and share these things, and then so there's some things in my life that's void because my daddy didn't share it with me, or my daddy didn't share with my great granddaddy did, or my granddaddy did. And so we have to be more transparent nowadays, because if you don't, I was just telling my son this yesterday. I said, at the end of the day, especially when you become a father, because he's going to have a kid in September, I say it's no longer about you.
Right.
Not only are you responsible, you're not only not responsible for yourself, now you're responsible not just physically, but spiritually for that child, because you are the covering. You're the head, not to tell. Forget what society talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're the head and not tail. and that child is under your protection. Of course, it's going to always be under the mother's protection. That's life.
Absolutely.
But as far as the spiritual aspect of it, you are the protection not only for your child, but when you get married, you're the protection for your wife. You are the head of the household. Contrary to what society is trying to push on us today.
That's real talk. Look, my wife takes care of many, many things. I often call her the head. And what I mean by that, as her being the head, is she takes care of the money, she takes care of everything. But in terms of me leading my family, I lead my family. I lead them in the direction that they not to say that she doesn't.
Yeah.
But my responsibility is to say, hey, I see you trying to go over there. Let me lay out a path for you to see if that is going to work for you. And if not, let's come back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? And this is when they're younger. Of course, they're grown now, so that they didn't already, past that stage. But when they're young, when my seed is starting to sprout, I have the opportunity to decide, okay, let me give you a vision of some different paths for you to take. And it's for me to be able to break that information down and provide that guidance for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, their mother, she's the nurturer. She's the one that's going to make sure that they get all that they did. She's going to be the one that's watering. She's going to. I'm now going to be the one that is going to kind of guide and lead. Of course, with her blessings as well.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to, hey, let's get you to where you're trying to go at this early age.
Yeah.
So yeah, you absolutely right. We as fathers, and unfortunately, we don't get the respect that we need or deserve. And let me scratch need. We don't get the respect we deserve. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay because I know that my duty and my job, I ain't gonna get a whole lot of pat on the back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They don't get a lot of fanfare.
Yeah. I understand that, and I'm okay. I accept that role because that's the role that I have took on. And so I got to accept it. My Father's Day gift ain't the same as the Mother's Day gift. I ain't tainted about it.
Hey, and this is for people to grow on. I hope somebody get this message out of this conversation, because you said something, and I was just telling my son that yesterday too. When you know your place as a man, you do not ever have to feel intimidated. Do not ever fight for the attention of your child. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, a mother is gonna be a mother. We know what the standards are. You know what I'm saying? How it's supposed to be. Daddy, child, wife, however, you know what I'm saying, it is. Always know that we know what it is, but it's always gonna be the other way around. And you have to just accept that. As long as they treat you accordingly. I'm not fit to fight for my child, like get into it with my wife, be like, oh, well, you fix his plate first. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, you have people that try to go by this pecking order, and you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly no, I'm the head of the house. I get my plate first. Come on. Just fighting for attention. We know what the pecking order is. It may not always go that way. Like you said, I know I'm the head, but who's truly the head? So my wife the head, because like you say, everything, she takes care of everything. I give her the money, she paid the bills, man. Got over here. And and it's not taking nothing away from her, it's not taking nothing away from me. That's just the structure of my
Right.
household. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But some people get bent out of shape if they feel as though they're not doing everything because I'm the man. But see, here's the thing, Phil, and I'm gonna leave it at this. You may want to point on it. Here's the thing. You want to be the man in certain situations, but when you're supposed to be the man, you're not.
Mm. Yeah.
You want to claim to be the man, but in certain situations, you run away from that responsibility. Come on, man. You can't have it both ways.
Right. Right.
If you're going to be the man all the time. You can't run when it's time to actually be the man. But you want to sit around and see, that's the problem too. When you got men that always say, well, I'm the man. If you got to keep saying that you're the man, then really you're not.
Who you tell them?
You know what I'm saying? Really, you're
CJ,
not.
you hit that on the head, man.
Because a real man ain't got to sit around there and drilling into his wife's head or drilling into his girlfriend's head that I'm the man. No, they already know you the man and they going to respect you as the man. The reason they not respecting, man, I know we went all off of Juneteenth, but
that's we conversation.
This is an educational part. But to know, because when they don't treat you like a man, it's because you're not acting like one.
Absolutely.
And so they treat you accordingly. And it's no different how we may treat somebody that we come across. If this is how you coming across to me, I'm going to treat you accordingly.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's the same way in relationships.
No, you're absolutely right. No, I agree 100% with you. Absolutely right.
So that's just a nugget for y'all out there listening, man. You know.
Hold on, CJ. I gotta say, we done went off the rail a little bit, and that's okay because you always dropping nuggets, and I respect that. Cause we get caught up so much on how things is supposed to be laid out and how things is supposed to be done. It's okay to go off the rail. It's okay to have conversation. It's okay to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that communication is everything, man. And we don't have to say, okay, if you ain't talking about this, we need to do it another time. I think a lot of times people think that way. We're only going to talk about this. Man, if something else come up in the conversation, it's only natural for us to talk about it. So because I done checked out your podcast on many different stories, and I love how you chime in and you talk about things that's not on the platform. That's okay, and that's beautiful to me, man. So I just want to say you keep doing that, cuz.
I appreciate it. You know, it's funny you said that. I had a young somebody, they wrote a review for me, and he say, and shout out to you, Track. And he said, you know, the conversation's cool. He said, but it seemed like, you know, sometimes the questions don't fit something or the answer. And so here's my thing to that. Like I read people's bios, you know what I'm saying? And so there's many facets to people's lives. And
Absolutely.
So me and you might be on here talking about Juneteenth, but in the same sense, a lot of things, like you say, Juneteenth is about education. You know what I'm saying? It's about artistry. It's about education. It's about the motivational speaker to inspire people. And so those are different facets just to Juneteenth. Juneteenth is one thing, but you have different parameters. Okay, it's just like a bulletin board. You know what I'm saying? You got your main topic, and then you got your bulletin points. And so a lot of times when you having conversations, it's so much about a person. And with my platform and what I'm trying to do is I want to dig into your journey.
Yes.
So you talking about your book is just one part of your journey. How did you get to the point to inspire to write a book? What was you know what I'm saying? What was the process? I want to dig deep into your life, to your journey, so that other people can be inspired, you know, that may be going through the same thing that you're going through. But if I'm just talking about the same thing, because for one thing I noticed too, and here's another thing, Trans, Another thing I noticed too, just like how me and you talking, once a person say what they gotta say and they end it, they through with that.
Yeah. 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 No, I feel you. And it's funny you mentioned that because we went around and we interviewed quite a few people as well for Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
We really feel the backstory is just as important or more important than the performance, even.
Mm-hmm.
And we really have, in interviewing, we really get to hear, man, the nuts and bolts of what built this person and how they got to where they're at today.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that's so valuable to me. I really believe one of the things that I have had the opportunity to do is we interviewed all our motivational speakers. We interviewed our hosts. We interviewed some of the young people who's going to be a part of the event. And just to hear their stories, man, is so powerful. We also had the opportunity to step outside of some important people in our community to talk about Juneteenth and other things. The Des Moines Public School Superintendent is named Dr. Ian Johnson. And we had the opportunity to interview him. And man, he told this remarkable story. He's a two-time Olympian. He's the first Black person who's been hired on to the school superintendent in 120 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to hear those stories, just to hear and then how it all related to Juneteenth, how he put it in, all that became relevant about Juneteenth in this event. I mean, those kind of stories are important for our communities to hear. It's important for our communities to hear what our people are doing to become successful. For so long, that story doesn't, as you said, you hear the podcast of Kevin Hart, and they don't talk about their climb.
Mm-hmm.
That climb is important, man. To hear that climb. I really wish I was able to, as a promoter, when I wasn't able to form what I wanted to do from my mouth, but I knew what I wanted to do in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish there was somebody that say, as a promoter, hey, this is what I do, and this is how I got here, here, and here. That would have had a light bulb go off in my head right away.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, man, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
Knowing what was inside of me and I wasn't even able to verbalize it was something that had some internal effects on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's important to be able to voice your story, even if that story is for one person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important to talk. And I love your show because you don't mind talking.
Hey, you know what it is, Phil? Because when first I started by myself. And then the Lord put it on my spirit, to get people's journey. So I started doing things with friends and people that I knew and I reached out to or whatnot. What I learned from it, what it showed me was, and this is something that I wanted to do and I continue to do it even with strangers, is to have a friendly platform as if, although today we just met, when somebody hear this podcast or somebody see it on YouTube, you would think that we've been friends or been knowing each other for months. I that's just the atmosphere that I want to try to set. I want the person that's coming on the show that's talking to me and giving a story. We just having a conversation.
Right.
This barbershop talk.
Right.
Beauty shop talk or whatnot. And so, cause I think when you do that, and a lot of times when I talk to people, and then I get them feedback, and we just having a conversation, it makes them more comfortable.
Absolutely.
So now, I'm open to say some things that I probably wouldn't have said, because I really didn't think about it like that. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that in a long time, So now it's opening up things like, man, it really brought something out of me. And so I know everybody do things differently, man, but and you learn things as you go along the way, man. So that's just something that that I'm picking up on. I'm still learning, but I appreciate you, man, giving a shout out to the show and enjoying it, man. So I know we've been on here for a while. We went off track, but it's all good. So my last question, man, we ended on this. So are there any other projects that you have in the works that we can be looking forward to after the Juneteenth event?
Yeah. So I'm in the works right now. So in November, we were the first that went into our homeless shelter and threw a concert there. And it was a benefit concert that we did. The event took place inside the homeless shelter. We are working on doing another benefit concert in August. When we did the benefit concert in November, it was kind of a last minute thing. I work part time overnight weekends at the shelter, and I said homeless, and I don't really mean, I should say people without a house or houseless people. Homeless definitely gives it a negative view, and it's not a negative term. It's somebody who is unfortunately had a situation where they no longer have a house or a home. But when we did that event, we raised quite a bit, but I wasn't quite satisfied with what we raised. And we're going to do another one in August. I'm actually thinking about doing this once every 6 months or so. One of the things that we got when we did this event is all the performers at this event, they walked away with something that they wasn't expecting. Whenever you give and lend yourself to somebody who is less fortunate, and you get the feedback from those people, it touches you in a way that you can't even put in words. And we did. We gave away a bike, and it was a just a beautiful event to where we came in, and for 2.5 hours, those people were able to forget about their condition at the time. And they were able to enjoy themselves. Not only did we give away a bike, but we gave away meals where people could go and eat at restaurants, and when you don't have a house or you don't have a car and you're living in a shelter, those kind of things are important. And those are the kind of events that All Voices DSM do. We do events not to, you're probably not going to catch us in a club doing an event. We want to do an event that's really going to have an impact on people, really have an impact on our community. And like I said, we want to take entertainers to do this because they can bring something out of people. And so that's one of our events that we're looking to do in August. We're also working on the second mic revolution. We missed the May time period, but we're also working on getting that set up. And that's probably going to be in September or October for the Mic Revolution. And it's going to be the Mic Revolution 2, the mental health awareness event, where we bring entertainers together, we bring therapists together, we bring mentors together, and we have a good time on the stage, and we talk about how to cope with your mental health. We talk about the importance of removing the stigma in our communities with mental health. But we still celebrate, we still rejoice, we still laugh, we still dance, because those things are still important to do while we get the education.
Yeah. So whenever you have these events, man, come on the Moneyway show and promote them, man. It's all love. I appreciate you. Coming.
Well, I'm always knocking on your door, but before and I know we're about to close, I gotta give some shout outs. Not only do I have to give the shout outs, I want to go into a little bit more depth with the entertainers too, and talk. And I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I do want to kind of discuss and talk about some of the entertainers. First, I must talk about the person who brought me on, and her name is Dewana Bradley. She is this powerful, powerful Black woman in our community who is a superhero. And what I mean, she wears a cape, even though you can't see the cape. She's flying throughout our community doing wonderful, wonderful things. And I really appreciate her bringing All Voices DSM on. She is a person who I love as a person, and she has done wonderful things for our community. And I can't say nothing but wonderful things about her. So I just want to give her a shout out and give her some love because she's going to make a difference. She is making a difference, and she's going to have a solid impact for years to come in our community. The entertainers, and I'm going to start with the musical entertainers. I can't mention them all, although I am a fan of every last one of them. But the one I have to mention, one of my hosts is, her name is Casey. She is actually an artist that works with All Voices DSM along with her brother, Makai. This is a wonderful brother and sister dynamic entertainment musical group. They write their own music. They sing their own songs. Makai does a little producing. Makai's 16 years old. And they got a lot of different tracks. She's hosting and also is going to be singing. We have some wonderful gospel groups that's coming out to be performing. Hope Elam and I can't remember Sister Teresa's Whitfield's a gospel group that's coming out, but she's coming out to perform. I'm excited about her performance. Then we have a dynamic poet, Paul Cram the Poet. Which is a wonderful, wonderful poet. And then we have some, great musical acts. I got this young group of kids that the name is Voices of Prophecy. They go around the country singing and performing on corners. And they make good money doing it. They're a phenomenal singing group. I also have the People's Band, who the leader of that is Casey and Makai's dad. Then we also have some wonderful other acts. I got to mention Shireen Callister and the Phil Wright Band. Shireen Callister was a finalist in season 14, The Voice. She's a phenomenal singer, phenomenal artist. The band rocks. Then we got another band coming out of Central Iowa by the name of Miles Ahead, featuring Kendo. And then we have Neba and the Soul Stars. Now, Neba is a band I've been following on for 8 years, and I finally got the opportunity to book these guys. These guys are, their music is very fitting for our community. It's very uplifting, very positive. And when you walk away from their music, you're going to feel good that you're Black. And there's not a lot of artists that's doing it. And back in the day, there used to be a lot of them. We ain't seeing a lot of that no more. But they make you feel good that you Black. You walk away like, oh man, look at that pretty Black. Look at that. You look at all in the mirror. Look at that pretty Black. That's the kind of band they are. Then our artists, we got some phenomenal artists on all mediums. We got video producers. We got the curator of this event. She is one who was invited to the UN to speak about our artwork. She is a phenomenal artist herself, and she was one who picked a lineup of artists that is remarkable. You all will get a chance to see some of the films, some of the documentaries that's going to be coming out. Well, I shouldn't say documentary because it won't be a documentary, but we will be documenting the event. You will get a chance to see some of the films and some of the pieces that go along with this event. It's just going to be a remarkable event. And the bottom line is it really is going to highlight our community. It is going to pass on some pride in our community and some pride with our culture. So I'm excited about being a part of this. And then I got to get a shout out to my daughters, All Voices DSM, which is a family business. And my daughters and my wife do wonderful, wonderful things. They're behind the scenes a lot, but I gotta shout them out because without them, there would be no All Voices DSM. So, but I think I kind of spit everything out. Oh, I gotta also always give a shout out to my mentor, Pastor Rod Bradley. He is the dude that I go to when I'm feeling down, and he pumps me up. He's a dude that I go to when I don't have much of direction. He gives me direction. So I just want to make sure that I honor the people that have chose to be a part of this event. I really want to make sure I honor and give them their necessary due because it's past due for them to get it. And I end on that, cuz.